Hello and welcome to the Idea TV News Update. I am Dearest Mba. We begin with the headlines. Federal and state governments launch joint security trade reforms to curb soaring food prices. Kano trains 1,000 youths on rice straw conversion for livestock feed. Experts urge tech-driven solutions for national development. And away from Africa, Pope warns AI risks to young brains. In business, Genco's must link to national grid system by December 31st. And in sports, escalating Middle East tensions force relocation of Women's Asian Cup qualifiers. And now the news in full. The federal government and all 36 state governors, have launched a joint response to rising food inflation and growing insecurity following a high-level meeting that began yesterday in Abuja. The new action plan, led by the National Security Advisor and in collaboration with Ministers of Defense, Agriculture and Transport, targets illegal checkpoints, multiple taxation and poor infrastructure, factors blamed for disrupting food supply and inflation prices across the country. Despite a technical drop in the year-on-year inflation rates due to base year adjustments, real-time food prices continue to rise in many states, including those that are major food producers. Month-on-month inflation for May rose to 2.19%, up from 2.06% in April. State governors under the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Progressive Governors Forum say they will support federal initiative by harmonizing levies and deploying local security systems to protect farmers, improve logistics and restore market confidence. This comes amid growing concerns over the deadly attacks and displacement, including last week's mass killing in the Yelwata, Benue State, where hundreds lost their lives. President Bola Tinubu visited the affected region earlier this week, while governors reaffirmed their commitment to localized security models and pledged to continue working with federal agencies to safeguard lives and ensure food supply resilience. Meanwhile, the governors also raised concerns about the delay in funding from the World Bank under the NG Cares program, despite states reportedly investing $2.2 billion to support vulnerable households and boost local economies. The forum called for urgent resolution of pending commitment to advance the next phase of the program aimed to build long-term resilience. And away from that, the Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project has commenced the training of 1,000 youths in Kano on rice straw utilization primarily for livestock feed. The initiative, which is financed by the Islamic Development Bank and the Lives and Livelihood Funds, is aimed at creating jobs and income streams for the targeted beneficiaries, who were drawn mostly from rice-producing communities in the state. This is contained in a statement by the Project Communications Specialist, KSADP, Amin Yassar. According to Yassar, the State Project Coordinator, KSADP, Ibrahim Muhammad, disclosed the commencement of the training yesterday conducted at Audu Bako College of Agriculture, Dambata. He said apart from this, with increased availability of the livestock feed from local rice fields, nomadism, which sometimes results in security challenges, will be minimized, adding that the initiative has the potential to ensure improved relations between farmers and herdsmen in Kano. In his remarks, the Provost Audu Bako College of Agriculture, Professor Muhammad Wailare, said the institution is happy to co-organize the training, explaining that the beneficiaries will be exposed to various simple technologies on rice straw utilization that will not only facilitate income generation, but also promote sustainable agricultural practices and reduce environmental pollution. Moving on, stakeholders push for a nationwide shift from traditional research methods to artificial intelligence-powered solutions to boost productivity and drive national development. This call was made on the opening day of the Nigerian Market Research Association International Conference 2025, which kicked off yesterday in Lagos. The four-day hybrid event themed Beyond the Horizons, AI and the New Frontiers is bringing together global experts from the finance, health, academic and research sectors with sponsorship from leading organizations including MTN, Ipsos, Esoma, World Research and the African Market Research Association. Discussions are focused on the growing role of AI in shaping data-driven decisions and enhancing research across sectors. Experts say artificial intelligence is fast becoming a game changer in tackling complex national challenges, especially in areas where speed, accuracy, and innovation are critical. Away from Africa, Pope Leo XV warned today of the potential consequences of artificial intelligence on the intellectual development of young people, saying it could damage their grip on reality. Since his election as head of the Catholic Church on May 8th, the Pope, a mathematics graduate, has repeatedly warned of the risk associated with AI, but this is the first time he has spoken out exclusively on the subject. While welcoming the use of AI in enhancing research in healthcare and scientific discovery, the Pope said it raises troubling questions on its possible repercussions on humanity, distinctive ability to grasp and process reality. Pope Leo himself has been the target of deepfake videos and audio messages published on social media in recent weeks. An AFP investigation earlier this month identified dozens of YouTube and TikTok pages broadcasting AI-generated messages masquerading as genuine comments from the Pope in English or Spanish. A survey from the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism this week found significant numbers of young people in particular were using chatbots to get headlines and updates. The Catholic Church has attempted to influence ethical thinking surrounding the use of these new technologies in recent years under Leo's predecessor, Francis. We go on a break now. The news continues when we return. Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is the Idea TV News Update. Now the rest of the news. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued a new directive requiring all grid-connected power generation companies to fully integrate their operations with the National Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System by December 31st. SCADA Energy Management System serves as the central nervous system of grid operations, enabling automated controls, real-time fault detection and live monitoring of power generation output. According to the Commission, Gencos that fail to comply with this directive will face significant financial penalties and possible disconnection from the national grid. The directive is contained in a newly released regulatory framework titled Order on the Mandatory Integration of Grid-Connected Generating Units into the new SCADA EMS for the Nigerian electricity supply industry. And finally, in sports, Women's Asian Cup qualifiers, originally starting next week in Jordan, have been moved to Qatar because of the ongoing situation in the Middle East, football officials said. Tensions have escalated in the region after Israel and Iran intensified airstrikes against each other, with the conflict risking the involvement of the United States. The Asian Football Confederation said that matches in qualifying Group A, scheduled June 23rd to July 5th in the Jordanian capital Amman, have been moved to Qatar and will now take place July 7th to 19th. Jordan, Singapore, Iran, Lebanon, and Bhutan are in Group A, qualifying for the Women's Asian Cup in Australia in March 2026. The Football Association of Singapore said separately that the move was due to the ongoing situation in the region and logistical concerns raised by the participating teams. There are 8 qualifying groups, with the winner of each booking a spot at the 2026 showpiece. Hosts Australia, South Korea, Japan, and holders China are already sure of their places. And that's all we have for you on the Idea TV News Update. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. We brought you news that the federal and state governments launched joint security and trade reforms to curb soaring food prices. We brought news that Kano trains 1,000 youths on rice straw conversion for livestock feed. We brought news that experts urge tech-driven solutions for national development. Away from Africa, we brought you news that the Pope warns of AI risk to young brains. In business, Gencos must link to national grid system by December 31st. In sports, we brought news that escalating Middle East tensions force relocation of Women's Cup qualifiers. Do not forget to connect with us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Dear Estemba. Thank you for watching.